How you doing? This is Jazz for Old Fashioned Health Show, oldfashioned.com as well, oldfashionedhealth.com as well. You know, America has an exceptionally high rate of obese adults. Now, obesity in itself can be categorized as a disease, but it also contributes to heart disease, strokes, and as well as type 2 diabetes. So today we have Donnell Steady, is that right?
Yes, it is.
Now let me get this right. You are an adult nurse practitioner.
That's correct.
A women's health nurse practitioner.
Correct.
And also a NASM certified personal trainer, correct?
That is correct.
Wow, that's a lot of stuff. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So give us a little bit of background about yourself.
Well, I grew up in Orlando, Florida, and when I started at a young age, I knew I wanted to help others. So I decided to pursue nursing later on. I then found out about what a nurse practitioner was and decided that's a role that I was interested in pursuing. So I attended to the University of South Florida in Tampa, Florida, and I got my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing there. I then later went on to work in labor and delivery for a few years and got experience with that prior to attending Emory University.
Emory, so I think Emory, you were a summa cum laude, is that right?
I was, correct.
Okay, very good, very
Yes,
good. So can you tell us the difference between all the different nurse practitioners?
Yeah, so there's a variety of different certifications that you can receive. You can receive women's health certification, adult health certification, pediatric, geriatric, emergency. There's a variety of different specialties that you can pursue. So what do you like the best? Well, I chose women's health because I thought that I wanted to help women during their pregnancy, before their pregnancy, and after pregnancy with weight loss. But then, as I kind of evolved and saw what other opportunities were out there, I found a position at a weight loss center that helped all individuals, not just women, and decided that was my passion, just helping everyone achieve and attain a healthy lifestyle.
So what is Empowered Wellness, and when did you decide to start it?
So Empowered Wellness, I decided to start it actually in May of this year. I'm really passionate, like I mentioned, about helping people achieve a healthy lifestyle. And I also had the desire to start my own business. So I thought I'd combine my passion and my desire to create Empowered Wellness. And Empowered Wellness offers a medically supervised weight loss program, which is a concierge type service that I offer in patients' homes or clients' homes, offices, or whatever other location that's convenient for them. I also provide personal training as well, so I can offer these services in their homes, office, or other location as well.
So what can a client expect from your weight loss program?
So the weight loss program is not a cookie cutter type program. It's very tailored to each individual person. So I offer a concierge type service, which means they get 24/7 access to me.
Is that really 24/7 access?
Actually, you'd be surprised. I've had 11 o'clock calls.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have people. I have a patient who called me from a party trying to figure out what she should eat at the party.
Really?
So yeah. So it's true. I live up to my 24/7. Luckily, I haven't had any at 3 a.m. yet. But I really like to make it tailored exactly to that individual's needs. So they have access to me all the time. I also provide weekly visits at their home or office to check their status along the way. And I monitor their health throughout the whole program and give them specific recommendations of what they need for their metabolic needs. And so I use a professional grade scale that helps me determine what their metabolic needs are. And that scale gives the breakdown of their body fat, their body water, their muscle mass, predicted metabolic age, visceral fat.
So this scale seems like a hot tub time machine over here, right?
So every week we go over, like, they log their food through a food journal that I provide, or if they want to use like MyFitnessPal, they can use that as a form of accountability and just to make sure that they're getting enough protein in. So I'm a big proponent of making sure we maintain the muscle mass through the weight loss process. So that might be one thing that sets me apart from other programs, is that other programs tend to maybe not focus on that as much. And so this scale helps me with that to make sure that they're not losing muscle mass, which is important for them to be able to burn off the body fat.
Okay, so what do you think is the main cause of obesity today? I mean, personally, I know we have cheap fast food that's just available to us anywhere, in every corner you have it. And also, I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I played outside. You know, people play video games nowadays, they stay inside. So what do you think is the main cause?
So I think those definitely factor in. I think another thing as well is that just kind of people have been misled as far as what foods are actually considered healthy food options. Things are kind of labeled in certain ways to, you know, as advertisement, but just aren't necessarily healthy food options. Everybody has the mindset that to eat less is the better way, and that's actually not the case. Of course, certain things you don't want to be eating a lot of. I'm constantly actually telling my patients, clients to eat more, eat more protein to make sure that we're speeding up their metabolism and that they're burning the fat. So everyone's pleasantly surprised when I tell them that they actually need to be eating more than what they currently are.
Are they still surprised when you tell them what they have to eat?
Yeah,
they are. More cookies, right?
Yeah, I mean they are, because that's the thing. I'm all about not depriving my clients of things that they want as well. So I have lots of healthy alternatives. So you know, if they're craving cookies, I have a healthy cookie option for them. I also offer other services that I can actually go with clients to the grocery store as well. Customized services that I can do that. I also help with food preparation techniques if they want something like that as well. And then I also do like kind of clean out of their fridge and pantry as far as, you know, getting rid of all those unhealthy carbs and replacing it with healthier options. So.
Very nice, very nice. So what made you decide to blend that aspect in there?
So, you know, I think weight management is a good combination of diet and exercise, your nutrition and exercise. So, you know, studies show that it's about 80% nutrition, 20% exercise. I've always enjoyed exercise ever since I was younger. And so it's just something that led me to pursue getting my certification as a personal trainer. And I think it's just a good component to have with the whole weight management. And also, in the long term, to be able to keep the weight off, people tend to gain the weight back if they don't make that a part of their lifestyle with exercise. So as you do, you know, I kind of limit people on their carbohydrates to start out on the program, and as they progress and get to their goal, they're able to add those back in gradually. But if they're not exercising, you have to be cautious with that, because they can tend to gain the weight back.
What do we have in front of us?
So these are Avocare supplements. This is just kind of adjunct to the recommended nutrition plan that I give patients. They can choose to use the products, or if they'd rather not, they don't have to. But it's just kind of a, you know, supplementation to help with the weight loss process.
So you have meal replacements in here?
Yeah, so the meal replacement shakes, I recommend them only for breakfast. Otherwise, I really prefer that people tend to have, you know, regular meals. People tend to be on the go for breakfast and tend to skip that meal, so I like to make it easy as possible, and they can do the meal replacement. And then some of the other products, a lot of people really love the Spark. It has a little bit of caffeine in it to give you some energy throughout the day. It goes through special testing, informed choice it's called, to make sure there's no banned substances, anything like that. And all the products have gone through that testing, the informed choice, and there's a medical advisory board as well who has helped, you know, create all these products.
On the topic of food, I have my top 3 worst foods that people can eat. So they lay them on the lines of anything fried, anything with a lot of sugar in there.
Correct.
Finish it off.
Okay, so those are actually a couple of mine as well. And then, you know, simple starches, so, you know, white rice, white bread, trying to go more towards the whole grains and things like that. And sodas, of course, you know, try to avoid those as well.
So could you explain, if you can, the whole concept of gluten-free?
So really, kind of the meal plans that I give are kind of fall along the lines of gluten-free, just because it's high protein, low carb type of diet. So I wouldn't say that, you know, all these products aren't definitely, you know, gluten-free that I recommend, but there are certain people with gluten sensitivities, so I can tailor, you know, the diet to that. And also, if people have different medical conditions, that's another thing that might be a little different from other programs, is I really tailor it to their needs. So if they have diabetes, things like that, high blood pressure, I make sure that I am adjusting their diet as needed.
Very good. So how can people actually find you? What's your website?
So I'm at www.empoweredwellness.com, and there's no E at the end of empowered. So you know, but it the D stands for dedication, determination, and difference. But I serve the whole Atlanta area and the surrounding suburbs. So I will come to people's homes or offices in the whole Atlanta area.
Because you also have a corporate wellness program as well, correct?
That's correct, yes. So I work with various corporations as well, any size corporation, you know.
So I have a question for you. So if I'm in the store, so as far as meat, protein. What kind of protein should I get? Do you prefer chicken, beef?
Yeah, so I really try to recommend that people stick with leaner types of protein, such as your chicken, fish, turkey, things like that, ground turkey. Salmon is good, that falls in kind of the middle category with healthy fats, omega-3s and stuff like that. And then beef, I recommend that people limit that to no more than 2-3 servings per week if possible.
Right. So what about breakfast? People don't know what to do for breakfast. What would you recommend?
So, you know, if people are on the go, of course, there's meal replacement shakes. Otherwise, you know, egg whites. Big fan of egg whites.
I want the yolk. I can't have the yolk.
You can have the yolk occasionally, yeah. There's some good components of having the yolk, but I recommend sometimes not having it every single day if possible. Doing things like turkey sausage, if people like turkey sausage, that's an option as well. Turkey bacon doesn't provide as much protein sometimes depending on what brand it is, so that is an option though if patients want that versus regular bacon. It's definitely the better choice, so yeah.
Are you doing lab testing like thyroid or cortisol or anything like that?
Yes, so I do actually have an account with Quest Diagnostics, so I send all my clients to Quest, or if they have any recent labs from their primary care provider, or if they're seeing an endocrinologist or a cardiologist, I like to get those labs at their first visit if possible, and then I monitor their labs throughout. Also monitor their blood pressure as well, just to make sure that they're staying healthy throughout the whole process. So, yep, and then, you know, if we discover any problems with thyroid, that's definitely taken into consideration.
So what do you find is the biggest block that people have from starting being healthy, fit, going on a regular, you know, routine, and then all of a sudden stopping and hard to get back? What is that block? What have you seen to be? You hit your wall and you're like, okay, I'm through.
I think, you know, in human nature, it's, you know, hard to stay motivated with something. It's just our human nature to kind of, you know, in a sense almost feel like slack off, because it is a tough lifestyle sometimes if you're not used to it. So I think that really getting into making it a habit and a lifestyle and adopting that as a life. So rather than saying completely cut something out, that's where I like to give alternatives, and rather than just saying get rid of this bad habit, let's find a new good healthy habit to implement. So rather than just completely taking away that coping mechanism, we want to replace it with something that's a healthy form of coping. So that's where you can do something like exercise in place, you know, to alleviate the stress, or just have still some form of food to turn to, but a healthier option. So I think the biggest thing is not to rely so much on motivation, because motivation is a hard thing. It kind of can come and go, but rather to try to really make healthy habits that are going to help you continue these things for a life.
Exactly. Yep. Anything else? If not, it's been great. Again, thank you so much for coming out. Please check her out on the website as well. Check her website out as well, empoweredwellness.com. This is oldfashionedhealth.com. This is Jackson.